Hey guys. Hey Mark. It's Mark or it's Mark. There you go. Hey Mark. Looks like that's it. There's 3 people watching, but I only see 1 in chat, so that looks like it. William Henry's here. Good morning, William Henry. That's good. I guess everyone can hear me. Journeyman Randy's here too. Mark Osborne's here. There you go. Don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. It's not very much really. It's all happening. But most of it's been work. So thanks Mark. I haven't achieved as much as I could have this weekend. Got a bit done. Friend wanted to go to an Australia Day steam train run up at Toowoomba, which is about two and a bit hours from here. So we went and did that on Sunday morning. It was nice. Got home here about 3 or 4 o'clock, something like that. Not sure I did much Sunday afternoon. It was stinking hot and I may have had a sleep. But anyway, we did that. Bit slack. Morning, David. Lot slack actually, but anyway. 3D printer's been going pretty well non-stop, but I work Tuesday, which is a bit different to normal, like at the day job. So I work Tuesday today, so I haven't really had a lot of time to do anything, and I've been looking at other things as well. The internet surf thing's a bit dangerous, but we do that. Florida man, Dan. That makes a lot of sense. Russell, good day. Good to see you again. Made a start on these on Monday. That was Monday's job. These are the valves for this pump. Right, I've got a steam engine pump sitting here. This is all bolted up. I don't know if it's bolted up right, but it's bolted up. Really like some of those nice spring washers under there, but it didn't happen. So I've got bolts and I've taken the heads off, the numbers off the heads, so they look half decent. And I've rounded the ends over so they look half decent too, sort of match. And I've done them up, put a coat of paint on it. But these are the next bit. These are the valves, and I just 3D printed one because it sort of looks like this. And it's a fun job, really. This one's not a real good profile, to be honest, the 3D printed one. It's cold in the southeast of England. Probably is. It's stinking hot here. Right, and there's a valve seat that looks like this. We had a bit of bronze, like this. So this is significantly more short than it was before. Because I've started on these. I've got the outsides done. Pretty nice, I think. If you clean these seats up and put them back in, this is probably about 1,000 times better than they were. Though this one's still got a bit of rock in it. But I think they sit all the way down. If you clean the seats up and put them back together, I think this would be alright. But I'm not going to do that. We'll make new seats. Still got to machine the insides, which is supposed to look something like this. So that's the next job on these this weekend, is to machine the insides and machine them to length, and these will be done. So that's that. These are quite badly worn here and pretty ugly. This seat in particular is not good. This one's not terrible, but that's how much wears in this. If you have a look. put this one together, there's still a bit of rock, but I think it had come out of it. And they're really ugly. So they're belled out on the top there where they shouldn't be, because they've been hammering for so long. And these holes that's supposed to line up are basically slogged out. And these holes on the bottom are completely worn out. Even by this standard, it's better than it was, but it's still worn out. So we're making a start on that. We made a soft drawer. We printed it. This is one of the good things about having a 3D printer. I printed up a soft drawer, which means I can grip these nicely in the chuck and machine the outside without marking them. So that's that job done. It's the same profile as this. Anyway, they're coming along. That's an afternoon I spent machining the two of them up. And whatever else. They'll come up alright. Pretty happy with that. And there's enough in here to get a couple of these out of here. Probably 3, but we shouldn't have to muck too many of them up. We'll make them fit. So first job is to chuck that up in the dividing head and drill 6 holes around it. Bring them in here and machine them to diameter and drill the middle hole that way around, like so. And then machine the profile on the inside, which is a fun job with a little boring bar, but not terrible. And then we can grip them the other way around. And basically just machine the outside off to that profile and put them in. Probably mark these holes after they're in place, because these holes are where the locating bolt here goes. It's the original one. It probably isn't the original one. It is, I think. It's to the drawing, and nothing else that's new or been modified on this is to the drawing. This is the new one on the other valve. So the new one too. And that just basically locates in that hole. Sort of. Probably. To some extent. And that stops everything moving. I think they need some sealant on them so they don't hammer up and down. I don't know about that, but probably some goop or something on them when they go in. If anyone's got any thoughts on how to seal them up, that'd be great. These were a tight fit, probably. I don't know if they were. Probably been hammered so much that they're stretched and they're tight. I don't think they were tight originally. I think they were a good, smart sliding fit. Because otherwise, how do you get that hole lined up every time when you put them in? Don't know. So, I reckon they want something on the outside to hold them in place. And then do the screw up and a bit of stuff on the screw as well to stop them leaking. And then they won't hammer up and down. And when we put this together on there, should be good. Anyway, that's what's happened there. It's bored you to tears and we're only 9 minutes in. I'm doing great. But anyway, it's a job that needs to be done. So we're making some progress on it, I hope. I'd like to think so. But got to get that sorted sooner rather than later. I reckon it's about 35 here, something like that at 8 o'clock. If you want to know. Okay, so that was one job. Got these done. I think I showed these last week. Anyone hasn't seen them, they're done. They still got to have wicks put in them, but they're finished. they're ready to go back on. Pretty happy with them, really happy with them. Spring-loaded oil pots for the roller. Job's done. If anyone wants a job, you can come and polish things like that. But anyway, evening, Bill. Back at you, right straight back at you, Bill. That's it. I think that's all the progress on the roller. That's what we did Monday. Been working on this, right? There's this stack of bits, right? There's some fancy bits here, right? This is finished pretty much. This is this little brass impeller, right? Now, this is off a left-hand engine. We want one for a right-hand engine. It's not off the engine that this impeller's going on, because the impeller on this side's on, or the impeller on this engine's on the right-hand side of the motor, which is over this side, off the camshaft, and the impeller on the motor that this come off is on the left-hand side, so it spins in the opposite direction. Right. As far as we know. So we need one that spins in the other direction. So there's a printed one. You've probably all seen this. But that's what we're looking for. It's opposite spinny. That one spins that way, or that way probably. And that one spins that way. So that's the purpose of this exercise, is to get one that spins the other way. This is quite a bit oversized, so there's room to machine stuff off here because it's got to fit in a cone nicely and goes. It's got a thread in the back like this. Right, I guess you machine the end of it in a cone and then machine this down till it fits in the gap and put a gasket in it to match. But this one's all bent, see, which is ugly. I don't know if it's meant to be or whether that's how it is or what it is or whether it gives you space for water or what the go is, but they're all the same and they're all bent the same. So I don't know. Maybe this one needs machining the same as well with a bend in it. Maybe it needs filing off. I don't know. Not my department. But this is a difficult thing to cast. You're following along. Right? Because of the height of it and because there's no draft on it, and because these bits curl around inside. So if you've got sand packed in here, when you lift this out, or when you lift this out, it disturbs this and it falls off because it's fragile and you get washout and all sorts of stuff. So that didn't work. So what we come up with is a sodium silicate core that looks this shape, right? It looks like this. It's a 3D printed example, but the core will look something like this. Right, and 4 of those sit nicely on there like that. See? And fill up all the gaps, which is awesome. This is for a water pump on a 1910 Argyle motor car. There we go. So, why are they the wrong direction? Because it's off a different engine. This one's off an engine with the pump on the left-hand side, and this one's to go on an engine with the pump on the right-hand side. They're both Argyle engines, but they're built the other way around. So, it runs opposite direction. So, that's why. So, if we make 4 cores like this to sit round in a circle like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It should just beautifully fit inside this pattern. So if we make a hole in the sand like this and lift this out, right, and got 4 of these and dropped in a pattern, we have a cavity in the top that looks like this. And then we can just put basically a flat top on the cope, or a flat bottom on the cope, and that'll hold these in here nicely, 1, 2, 3, 4, and pour through the centre. Down through the centre here, and hopefully we should end up with a casting that looks just like that. That's the theory. So, as a bit of a challenge, we made a core box, which is in 3 bits really. The first couple of core boxes didn't work, but this one will. Right. There's this bit. See there? And this bit. There. Jump out this bit here, probably could sand that back. Looks like a paint run, but anyway. And this bit. And these go together like this, see? And this one slides in here. And that gives you a core. You pack that full of sodium silicate sand and put him in the CO2 until he goes off. And slide that out, lift this off here, drop that out of there, and you've got a core, and do another one. You can, Russell, that's a very good theory. It probably won't work like that for a couple of reasons. One, you've got burnout. 2, you've got molten mark. 3, you've got something that the brass is going to hit and cool, so you're going to end up with chill and chill cracking. Not ideal. Sodium silicate cores are much better and cleaner. You'll end up with a much cleaner casting. You won't get gas bubbles and things in it from the plastic and crap inside. So yes, you could probably do that, and it would probably sort of be satisfactory if it was for anything else. But for this, I think it wants to be done properly. So this core fits on here like this, see? And this bit fits on here like this, see? And this slides in there like that. I think should there. Right. Slides up. Now this core's a fraction oversized because of a couple of coats of paint, but that won't hurt. But that's how that works. And that kicks off there, and that one comes out there without breaking any of the bits off the sand. Evening, Darren. So we might as well have something that's decent. Do it. So that's where we're at. That's all these bits do. We'll report back. Maybe this weekend I'll get up the foundry. I don't know. We'll see how we go with that. I don't know what days I'm working. Probably I'm not working all day except for Sunday. If I go Sunday, it means I won't get any of this done. Hey John, it's up late. But there we go. That's probably, if we go on Sunday, we will get one of these cast for Phil, for his car. If we don't go, we might get the rest of these finished. Not that that matters, because it's still a long way off being fitted up. Sorry, Dan, it's a long way off being fitted up on the engine. So I don't know yet. It depends on the weather and stuff. Also messing around with these. I've got these couple of bearing blocks that I fished out the other day, take some pictures for someone. Right, they're not bad. One of them's got a brass that's worn out and other ones don't. So thought maybe you might cast some new brasses up. Should look like this. Machine them up. And at some point they'd be decent little bearing blocks for something. Has Morgan got any money? Asking all the complicated questions. So these little bearing blocks, this one here is in the wrong way up. That one goes in there. That one goes in there. That one's got a oil hole in it. Matches up with that, sort of, probably. So they might be worth getting going. I think they were a gift from someone and it wouldn't take much to get them going. But a couple of nice 1-inch bearing blocks are handy to have. That's fair, Dan. We will bear it in mind when we catch up with jobs. So, oh dear, John's got problems with the Colchester. Clutch keeps tripping out while threading and stuffing the part. Yeah, not much help with that. It's a bit of a problem. Don't know how to fix that. Just clutch up maybe. Or maybe it's dirty, it's got something in it. Don't know. Anyone has any thoughts about that? Tell John or tell me if you've got any thoughts from him and I'll pass it on. So that's where we're at with that. This one's sorted. This project's well on the way. I did unscrew this foot valve. See, it's got a valve in there. So it's got a valve in there with the seat. You can't really get in there and pull it out, but it is loose, see? So I think that's about the right size to go on the hose. Don't know. If it's not, it goes on this fitting. I might give this back to feel if it doesn't fit. Anyway, feel that's the exchange for this. Excellent. Very good. Haven't been up because there's still some aluminium castings and some brass castings to pick up, and if we went up on Sunday I could probably get them, but Morgan has a very similar currency to Bill, so I think they'd get on like a house on fire, to be honest. From what I've seen, it's sort of, yeah, very similar currency. Just saying. So that's the jobs. That's sort of what we're at. That's what's happening. This I'm still not happy with. This works. He enjoys the occasional privilege. Good night, John. I'll talk to you at some point. I'll give you a call. Might be in the morning. We'll see how we go. This is very good, right? Very little backlash. Really impressed with this. Need to do the same on this end and to get rid of this ugly looking thing on here, which I don't think is going to work. So that's where we're at with that. Don't know. Still thinking about it. Still looking for a spline piece in here. Not really wanting to spend any money on it, but it needs fixing at some point because we've got lots of threading to do. I want to get onto the whistle when I've got some weekends at home to do stuff. Jono's back at work now, so we get Monday and Tuesdays to do stuff, and probably we can borrow his lathe on one of those days and do some threading. Be all right for a start, Russell. The problem with buying a lathe is that the tooling costs more than the lathe, as John or anyone else will be able to tell you. I've got a $200 lathe over there, but I spent 10 grand on getting it going. These are crap. So something like this would be nice in a better quality thing, but I can't afford them. I don't know how much better they are too. Anyway. Work in progress. What else is happening? Good question. Excellent question. Don't know. We're running out of time. It's February already in 2 days, so things are getting a bit crazy. We've got to really make some progress on stuff. We've got to really get in and make stuff. Get this job out of the way. Get this pump back on. Get those oilers back on, and probably we're going to have a look at that front end. I've got some theories about that, and I'm still thinking about it. But at this point, I can't see a lot of choice except pulling the thing apart, and it's a big job before the national rally in July when we've got to have it ready. Anyway, it's only 6 months away, or not even. Bit sad. So, that's that. That's what's happening. That's about it. I've only had a short weekend, so I probably haven't made as much difference as I could have. Oh. These I'll drop a ball in mill into the right depth, and then I'll machine these around with the same as I did the outsides to the profile and clean them up. They'll be fine. Get them done. We could concentrate on the seats, and probably if I stayed home on Sunday I could get them done and back in. But there's still a lot of jobs to be done when we get it down there, and it still needs a coat of red paint when we make sure that all the flanges line up and everything. Could cut some gaskets at some point one of these nights. Yeah, need some packing on the bypass as well. Anyway, that's how that goes. No progress on the lamps at all. Nothing happening there. No progress. Well, there is actually. I've got to hang on. Oh, my foot. Got a drawing. Oh, it'll pay for itself after a year. Absolutely. Keep telling yourself that. That's one of those things that you need to keep convincing yourself, because it's got to be an ongoing thing. You've got to have it cemented firmly in your mind before you even start. Because if you're not, you'll lose sight of the goal. This is drawing number 64995 from drawer number 364 at the John Fowler Works. Right. It's next to useless as far as the drawing goes, to be honest. There we go, unroll that. But it's a boiler drawing. It doesn't show anything that we want it to show. It's got all the holes, which is useful, I guess. It's got this pressing for the front tube plate, which mine doesn't have, but it's got a big heavy front tube plate in it, so it doesn't need that because it's been replaced. It's got the barrel and the holes and all the measurements for the setting it up, which is good. There you go. It's got backhead and pressing, which mine does have. More a suggestion than definition. Yeah, most of the holes are on here if you want to investigate it. If you were looking for a hole, you'd probably find it on here. I'm less convinced that mine's actually got all these holes in the same spot. But anyway, who cares? What I wanted to do was look at this, because it's only a little boiler, it's pretty short. 3 foot 11 and a half along here, less 132. Now the 132 must be important. I don't know what it's for, but it says it's less 132 from there to there, which must be important for something. I'm not sure what, because this distance between here and here is not that critical. I would have thought it'd be critical to within about an inch, because what goes between there and there is steering chains. And what else? The exhaust pipe out of the cylinder. To be honest, not much else goes between there and there, but this seems to be critical. Less 132 seems a bit critical. But what we need to do is run some cladding on here at some point, right? On the outside of this. Now this drawing is useless because it hasn't got any of the information for that. And it doesn't even have the diameter of this. It says 1 inch, 1 foot 11 and 3/4 diameter on the outside here, or on the outside of the tube plate, but it doesn't actually, it says 2.5 inches here. I've just seen that. That may or may not be right. So there's a band goes around here, and the band goes round here somewhere in the middle, and one round the front, and these have got lagging bars between them, but that's not original because this was lagged with timber, and then it had the lagging sheets put over the top. That's not what we're going to do, because I don't think that's particularly good for the boiler, and it's a bit of a pain in the neck every time you've got to pull it apart. So Russell Stewart 7A has just been delivered. That's a nice model. That's going to be awesome. It's a bit exciting. So what we want to do is put a cage around here on the boiler. If we look at it, this, pretend it's the side of the steamroller. There's a big wheel here, and there's a little wheel here, and there's a bit on the front, and there's a chimney sticks up there, and there's a cylinder on top here. There's a crankshaft goes in there with a flywheel on it, and there's a tender bolts on the back here somewhere. That's how that is. So we want a cage around here with an air gap, and then we're going to run the cladding around it and the brass bands and have all that done. Don't know when that's happening. It might go on at some point, but Phil's working on that too, so that's very good. Very excellent. Very happy. But anyway, that's the boiler drawing. Boiler with corrugated firebox for Class D and A rollers, October 1931. Now this may not even be the boiler for mine. That's why I'm going to take this down to Fridges. That's why I got it printed. Take it down to Fridges and get some actual measurements on this off the whole, like actual draw some measurements on it, so that we've got some information to do it, and we know exactly where everything fits up. And then I can give one to Phil, and I can keep one for myself, and Phil can make some bands and cages and bits for them, and we can bolt it all up. That's the answer. So, got that? That's nice and straight. The riveting diagrams for the junctions on the firebox shell and barrel. Riveting for manholes and fire holes. Corrugations in firebox top. I'm not even sure mine's got that, to be honest. I don't know whether that's a feature or not. I think that might have been a later thing. What have we got here? Fusible plugs. Brass plugs. Fusible plug. Stays. Threads for stays. Length of boiler shop. Length from boiler shop. Taper 1 in 14. 1 inch in 14 inches. So, don't know, 1 3/4 of thread on each end or something. Length from boiler shop. I'm not even sure where the stays go, but I think they go through the middle here somewhere. Not sure. I have to have a look. Two different arrangements here, one for 2 water glasses and one for 1 water glass and test cocks. So this is what mine's got. They must have both been options. It's 1 3/4 diameter screwed plug in the top. Mine's got that, which is this one. And it's also got one in the front here, there. But mine has also got, the same as a locomotive, it's got plugs in here screwed in rather than doors, which is really quite a good thing. That's definitely an improvement, I think. It's something that's crayon stays. Maybe 7/8 inch, 14 threads inch. Oh, the taper 1 in 14 for the fusible plug. Length from boiler shop there, 14 threads inch. 1 inch diameter and 7/8 inch. They could easily be screwed stays for the firebox too, and boiler stays. I don't think it's got long stays through it. That's what threw me a bit. Anyway, what else is over here? Big drawings. That's the view from underneath looking up. If you get to that point that you're looking at that view, it's probably time to rethink your lifestyle choices and move on to something else. This marker's got a bar through here with a bracket on each end, and the bar is what the fire bar sit on. So here, like this. Top part of the back head to the front tube plate. Well, they're longitudinal stays. Maybe it does. It doesn't actually say that it does on here on the drawing, but maybe it does. You would think it might, but anyway, it doesn't seem to say that it does. This is how your fire bars sit in him. Mark. So they sit basically on a plate here with an angle bracket underneath. And I guess they are quite high. We've had that discussion about them. It's got angle plates on here. I don't know what they're for. Looking there, which way around does that go? I guess that's looking at this is the back, is it? And that's the front. That's the front and that's the back, maybe. These must be to bolt the tender on. Don't know what they do. But they're quite long. They're like 12 inches long here. Don't know. Anyway. Can't see them on the side drawing. Oh no, they're on the front here. They're on the front, so I don't know what they do. So that's what a steam engine boiler looks like, a roller boiler looks like inside. It would be very, very nice to get it to this level. Steam clean it, paint it, and put everything back on, but it's not going to happen. It's just not going to ever happen in my lifetime, so we can live without that. Would be very nice. Ah, yes, this one. There's one on each side. Ah, yeah, they're for the steering supports. That's what that is. Well done, Dan. That's what it is. Excellent. You'll guess what this bit is. No idea what that is. It says part J. Maybe we could look on here for part J. No, no use there. It's not that. These brackets hold the fire bars in. Like these ones. Right. That's self-explanatory. This one here, whatever this is, I've got no idea whether this is round or it says 7, 8, and it's a pin off something. Maybe it's a rivet, 1.25 long, 3/4 by 7, 8, and 1.25 by 5, 8, and 1.5 by 3, 8. Maybe it is a rivet for something. They don't seem to be what holds that on, and it's probably not the scale, but I've got no idea what that is. Three-quarter rivet's about 2 3/8 pitch around the top here on 6, 8.5 inch diameter, something like that. So no idea what they do either, but that's where the cylinder bolt's on, so I'm not sure why it's riveted. Maybe it's just this reinforcing piece is riveted in place underneath the cylinder, not sure. And there's another big list of things that I'll never ever have off the roller, ever, if I can help it. Go create, Nigel. Good to see you. So there we go. That's it. That's the heavy bit of the roller, or one of the heavy bits of the roller. That's where it starts. Axles go in here, main bearing, secondary shaft goes in here, gear shaft goes in here, crankshaft goes in this one. David, when was this drawn? 1931, this one. So it's after my roller by quite a bit. So it may be with a few revisions. That's why I've got to take it down there and have a look, because there's every chance that there's been revisions. What this doesn't show here is the 2 holes in here, which are for the motion cover supports. This is the full-size boiler drawing. This is the boiler for the full-size roller. That's what that is. So we're looking at, it's only really a model boiler, it's only a tiny little boiler, but anyway, there's no actual full lengths or drawings. To give you some idea, it's 2'8" to there, 1'9" 3/4" to the top there. It's 2 foot diameter bore. It's 3 and 11.5 inches through here. It's 2 foot 5 1/4 this way. So really it's about, if we have a look, it's about 6 and 1 foot 10 is 2 foot 4, and 4 foot 2 is 2 foot 6, 6 foot 6, and 6 foot 8, no, 6 foot 9, 9 foot 9, something like that long, and about 4 foot 7 or something tall, and probably top about 2 tonne it weighs. Probably 3 ton for mine because there's a lot of extra steel in it. It's hot riveted, yes, all the way through like this. It's a picture of a rivet and the offset on the lap seam and all that stuff. So the stays, 7/8 stays go all the way through here. Look, these are all 7/8 stays in here. And I imagine that's what that drawing up there is the 7/8 stays go through here. Bill, you're right, don't be too harsh on China. I guess these plates were all made from smaller drawings, and when it all fitted together, this was just a double check sort of a thing, this drawing. Pretty sure my boiler stays and boiler tubes aren't that pattern either. They could be, but I don't know if they are. They might be. Do we keep it full of water or drain it off? And drain it every time. Don't put water, don't store it with water in it. There are people who do store them with water in them. We have facilities to pump it dry and put it back in the tank, which is amazing actually. Dan's got that system sorted out and it's pretty amazing. That's ideal, rather than let water run on the ground, and there's not enough water anywhere in Australia to do that. Basically we've got a threaded fitting on the bottom of the blowdown and fire pump straight back into the tank, holding tank, and next time we run it we put that straight back in the tender or back in the boiler. Hi from Australia. So you can fill it up where there's no air gap in it, and it shouldn't have too much corrosion, but I wouldn't leave it for longer than about a week, 3 or 4 weeks. And to be honest, I can't tell you 3 or 4 weeks out when we're going to steam it or not, so not a good idea. So we tend to empty it every time we run it. Matt, g'day. Hope you're having an awesome holiday still. I know it's soon over, but I hope you're having a good holiday. Wet storing is not really a fun thing, and basically these come out, we get rags in them so that they wick the water out. Generally it's still warm when we pump it out. Generally there's a couple of warm days at some point in the next little while, but I don't tend to keep puddles in the bottom of it. But yeah, put wicks in the bottom of it to dry it out. That's how that works. So, it's a big beastie of a thing. And the main reason for getting this drawing and printing it out is to actually work out the boiler cladding. So, it'd be nice, it'd be very, very, very nice to get the boiler cladding on it at some point in the next month or so. It's not really a huge job to do it, but it's just a matter of finding time to do it. And the front end thing's hanging over me too, so I don't know. Anyway, that's the correct boiler dimensions for a DNA engine, but I don't know how many modifications were made to that over the next 5 or 6 years they were making them. Because it's 1931 and my roller's 1926. So I imagine that this drawing probably had some modifications. Alright, that's that. That's how that works. Note these holes for pressure gauge mountings. An internal steam pipe to be drilled in boiler mounting shop. That's what it says here. There's a pickup or scavenger pipe in here somewhere too. I don't know. That's not. Doesn't seem to be on this boiler. It must be somewhere else. Don't know how that works. Because your steam regulator picks up from here, but there's a pipe inside that picks up from up here somewhere. I'm not sure how that works. No, disregard that. There's a pipe in there, but I don't know what it does. We've got an ultrasonic tester. It's right there in the yellow box. Right? If anyone needs to borrow it at any point, it's there. And we've gone over it pretty well, and I've been over it when we bought it. It's probably time we went over it again. I don't think there'd be a lot of difference in it because it hasn't been stored wet or anything. But it's for the steam supply on the injector. That's probably what that is, yes. Anyway, it's not on there. That's exactly what it is, Mark. Tea and biscuits, you're exactly right. If there's a difference, then you've got issues. But anyway, big drawings. I haven't got a lot of them, but not printed out. I've got a lot of them actually in digital form, but I haven't got a lot of them printed out. Put that down there and roll it up later. So that's what's happening. I don't know how much is going to get done this next weekend either. I don't know what days I'm working. At this point, I've told Dan that I'm going to go and pick up seats for his new vehicle on Monday morning. That seemed a bit harsh in retrospect, but we should make it. And we'll keep you posted if they don't. Dan, we'll get them at some point. But there you go. There's options on that. I'm not sure yet whether I've got to work Monday or not, but I don't think I do at this point. So Sunday we might go to the foundry. Monday we might have a word. If I've got the day off, I'll spend most of it machining. Let's see how we go. So that'll be the weekend. Another plate like this needs to be cast. It says Tea and Biscuits got stickers apparently. Don't ask me because I'm hopeless with stickers. I really am. I've got stickers here and I need to get some envelopes and go to the post office, but I haven't been to a post office for so long. And I don't know this week whether I'm going to get to a post office or not, or to anywhere where I might have to stand in line for a bit. We'll see how we go. I see, Russell, as you do. It makes it a lot easier than actually buying your own. I'll tell you that now. The weekend after, we're going to Dan's for a work and bee. If anyone wants to come, it'll be a serious work and bee, not just to mess around and put some doors up to the work and bee like Matt's got sucked into. Sorry about that, Matt, but thanks so much for your help. And it was really good to catch up, and I really appreciate you hanging around and being patient with us. But Matt's come to the steam shed, and I hope it wasn't too much for him. I hope we didn't scare him off, but he was very helpful, and I really appreciate it. Serious work and bee. Want to get this on. Want to get these flanges cleaned up to fit, like the bottom pipe flanges to match these. Want to bolt this up and make sure it works. Then we want to unbolt it and bring it home and cut gaskets and everything for it and put paint and packing and put it all together, and that's ready to go. Want to put those oilers on. They're finished. What else? Don't know. Want to get that drawing out on the bench and make a whole lot of measurements is what I want to do. Don't know what else. Tried the Romney Hyde and Dimchurch running straight past the end of the garden. I probably wouldn't buy a roller. That's where we're at with that. And even if I didn't, there are still times in the last 12 months when I thought I probably wouldn't buy a roller. Anyway, but it is what it is, and we'll get on and we'll get it going again. Get it all sorted. Get all these bits back on and nice. Put thread tape on the list to put all this together. I also want to get this back on the hose, swapped over. Where are we at with the steam whistle? Not a lot of real progress. We've got this here, right? This is a print. It's just a sort of a demonstration. We've got to make some core boxes up for cores on the inside. We've got to redraw this with pattern draft and fillets and things where we think it needs it. Right, it's got drawing, it's got actual marks on here and stuff, so you can see. And we've got to make core box to make 5 fairly big cores, and we've got to make a pattern to pound the sands that they sit on this end and sit on this end. I have ordered, there's no support on the top, so I've ordered 3mm copper rod in quite some quantity, and we're going to put 2 of them through here and through the sand in the top and through the cores, and leave them in while we cast them, and then just cut them off on the top and the bottom, hit them with a chisel on the inside, so that they're cast in as part of the whistle, and that supports them on this end, supports the cores inside, and it stops them wobbling around. They're going to sit down in the sand on the back a little bit, and this is going to be pattern's going to be molded in 2 pieces. So basically in a bell box which has got multiple layers. So we're going to still rains here, Russell, just so we know. So this first one's going to get rammed upside down, like without any of that center in it. Basically it's just a mold, right? And then there's a piece in the middle to line it up. Then the box goes on the top, or actually this one gets rammed first. It's just a mold, and then this way up, then the next box goes on, and this one gets rammed too. And then you can split it and take the 2 pieces out and sit it all back together. And then the third piece on top here supports the cores, and the cores have got short, pretty stiff wires in them, and they push in here and push down through here into the sand, and that leaves a gap in the middle, hopefully. That's the theory on that. I'm waiting for a few weekends to get in and do that. The main bell's sort of finished. I'll get this pump going first. No 10 biscuits, nothing at all on that. We're not discussing that. It's not coming up in the discussion at all. Thanks, chat. No decision on that. There's a month to work that one out. It's probably a no, because I've got too many other things to do. I'd rather get this whistle going, like get this finished. I'd very much like to have a bit of a mess around with my model petrol engine. And I've got a front end of a roller to fix, so that's where we're at with that. The front end of the roller is not really something that's going to take up a lot of my time personally, but it's going to take up a lot of cash. So that's where we're at. Anyway, I'm not sure I've got anything else much to cover. I think we've pretty well done it. Thanks heaps everyone for tuning in. It's really awesome to catch up with you all. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in my life. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in all your lives, but it's really awesome to see too. So post stuff wherever. If you haven't got anywhere to post it, stick it up at my Discord so we can see. If that's not your thing, stick it up on Facebook and tag me. If that's not your thing, then make a YouTube video. But we'd like to see what you're all doing. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's been crazy busy here and doing crazy things. So boil it, heat up your shop sounds like a really good idea, Randy. It sounds like an excellent idea. We don't need it here. I've got this to cool it down, but don't use it enough. Yeah. Anyway, I'm out, I think, guys. I might be out for a little bit longer, or I might not. I'm feeling it a bit, and I've still got 3 more days this week, at least. Yeah. Post what you do it up on the Discord, and then we know at least what's happening, pictures and stuff. Make videos, tag us in the videos, or at least share videos. Tell us in chat that you've got a video up, and then everyone will go and watch it. Anyway, that's awesome. That's what this is for. Is for you to say, hey, look, I got a video this week. Here it is. Here's the link. That's what that's for. Anyway, that's all that's happening. Thanks, guys. Be kind to each other. Yeah, don't go to war or anything. It seems a bit superfluous saying that because you won't have a lot of choice, but at this point don't. And more soon, guys and girls. I'm out.